pleasure to meet y'all at last, and welcome back to Multiple Wheels of Steel. And so, today's where we're going to try something a little bit different. Instead of doing the usual, I basically have myself some pre-recorded material that I was able to put together into a nice, unique episode. So for the first time, this is pretty much what you'll be able to see. Outside of the state of Wisconsin, I was in fact able to get a few reviews on some cars all the way down in the state of Carolina. And here comes one of them right now. Today I'm in Greenville, Carolina to bring you the 2020 Kia Optima LX. This is pretty much the first time that I've ever done a Multiple Wheels of Steel episode based on a rental car that I'm done outside of my usual area that I typically go to review. All the way down here in Carolina, the rules seem a bit different, and so the review is going to be a bit different than the likes of most. But in any case, I'm still really glad that I do have the opportunity to be able to film something like this, as I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't regularly get the chance to drive a rental car, let alone review it by any means, the way I do. And so, looking at it from all angles, this is one incredible machine. For a 2020 model, it certainly does have itself some good mileage, about 53,000 on the odometer, plus a lot of other unique quirks and features that certainly do come standard with a bunch of different models of its own brethren, Kia, Hyundai, etc. It seems that in recent years we're getting a lot of new innovations and plenty of amenities that come with each and every new vehicle, as they are in fact reasonably priced these days. And so, well, let's go ahead and try this out. The first thing that I can pretty much showcase is the fact that it has a silver metallic color on the outside and a black interior. A pretty unique set of fabrics, including Alcantara and various cloths. And so, when climbing into the interior, it certainly does have a pretty unique feel. And when getting to start this thing up is pretty much another experience by any means. As I've said, it has 53,741 miles on the odometer to be exact, which is a lot considering how this has been a rental car in use for quite a while now, it seems. And so, quite a nice start, to say the least. You basically have yourself a unique cluster of different technological functions that you might not find in most cars that you might have. But for a rental, that's pretty much okay. Because looking at the steering wheel, first of all, movement of it is very fluent. Has a pretty unique sort of leather wrapping around it, which does in fact have a pretty nice texture, as you can see, that can help aid in grip, especially when handling most tight turns. The tachometer could show that you can get a maximum of around 8,000 RPM, and if you basically look close enough on the digital display in the center between the gauges, then you can see that there are 329 miles shown on the gas tank. And this car has been in a lot of use over the past 5 days that we've had this around in the Greenville, Carolina, so you can definitely be sure that this vehicle is going to give you some great mileage by all means. This does come standard with a 6-speed automatic transmission. And of course, well, no smoking, as this is a rental. You have yourself a backlit LCD screen which showcases various media info, including menus, apps and information, as well as setup. You also do have various button controls which do allow for various things, including the media player, and well, let's not forget about the hazards, which is simply clearly marked, to say the least. The steering wheel does, in fact, allow for some media control as well, as you can see here with the combination of voice activation, mode, telephone usage, volume controls on one side, and the other side over here allows for cruise control, because if you remember from a few reviews I've done in some recent times, especially throughout this first season of Multiple Wheels of Steel, then you probably get to know the fact that some vehicles do come with cruise control, mostly as an option. And looking at this side over here, the vehicle, to the left of the steering wheel, we do have various newer technological functions, including button controls for the gas cap, the trunk, as well as slip notifications. And then, of course, when looking at various other functions, including windshield wipers, lighting controls, brights, high beams, let's also not forget about the temperature controls. It's a little loud, but anyways, got heat, AC, recycling, front and rear defrost, various fan speeds and controls. And so, AM/FM radio is also a big part in this vehicle's media system, so you do have that under control. And when looking at the menu that takes place right below this center visual, you do have your various notifications, including low fuel, airbag systems, and many others. Of course, they're not illuminated very well because this vehicle isn't in tip-top condition. And so, well, that's pretty much the horn for you. Not very strong, but that's okay. And when looking at the key itself, it does pretty much come standard switchblade style with a pretty unique sort of divoted side, nice and cubic in shape. And because this is a rental car, it does come with its, well, its own little tag, if you will, plus various little bands to help keep it from getting lost or stolen. There's also various other controls that you can see down here, including this little compartment, which includes a 12-volt DC input, auxiliary, and USB. And another really cool thing that you might get to see on this model only is drive mode. And you do get to select that in various ways, but we're not really using that today. You also got some storage for the most part. And, well, plenty more in both this center console part as well as the glove box. And it's a really generous space, pretty much. So, when getting to look at this vehicle, you yourself have to pretty much see it to believe it. Window controls, window lock, lock and unlock buttons. Not to mention your power mirrors, which is pretty much self-explanatory. And so, let's get a move on here. And so let's get a move on by talking a little bit about this vehicle's engine. When getting to know the Kia Optima LX's engine, let's see if I can find the handle it is. There it is. As with some newer vehicles that I've reviewed in some time since the series began, this vehicle does come standard with automatic hydraulic systems, which help keep the hood open so it doesn't end up slamming on you by accident. Same can't really be said for most older vehicles that I've reviewed, including my 2001 Grand Cherokee Laredo. But as you can see here, it does come standard with a typical engine right here. The GDI system complete, with a pretty nice outline of valves. Other various components, of course, include the wiper fluid, battery, oil, antifreeze coolant, and much more. So this vehicle is packed with pretty much all the essentials. That pretty much takes care of the hood itself. When getting to look at all the other vehicle functions that this has, you do, of course, have a pretty roomy back seat, as you can see here. You got netted storage compartments over here. And unlike most vehicles that would come standard with some amenities, including rear temperature controls, cup holders, and the like, this vehicle doesn't have any of that stuff. Although it does have this center piece right here, which does include 3 cup holders pretty much. One could probably hold a Red Bull can or whatever, but in any case, this vehicle might not be suitable for anyone who does like the use of functionality in all ways, including the front and rear. You got grip handles, coat hooks, rear illumination, as opposed to what you'd see in the front, not to mention sunglasses holder. And as such, well, that pretty much covers that. Finally, let's go ahead and talk a bit about trunk space. If I could find it, there we go. Of course, we're down in Greenville, Carolina, so do expect to see a lot of ECU merchandise in here, but as you can see, well, if you check this out, extremely roomy for the Kia Optima LX. This vehicle is already stacked with a lot of impressive feats, including some amazing gas mileage and whatnot, and a rather decent sized engine for its size. But of course, one of the most unique features is the fact that you actually have yourself the ability to get yourself locked inside this trunk and still be able to get out at any cost. By simply tugging on this piece right here, you'll be able to open the trunk up no problem. But then, of course, there also comes the option for you to be able to fold the seats down, just in case you would like to have the car folded downwards, for any case that you might want to have some extra space. And so, this is pretty much how it works. So, if you thought that was pretty impressive, to have a lot of amazing trunk space and to also be able to get out in case you get locked in there by accident, or if somebody tries to kidnap you, you can easily escape from it. And then of course, well, you have the ability to collapse the rear seats to have extra space. And so, that pretty much just concludes my review on the Kia Optima LX. For a 2020 model, it is impressive by all means. Amazing mileage, neat styling, and some impressive quirks and features that you might not get to see in the majority of other vehicles. And so, that pretty much just goes to show that you do have yourself a one-time only machine. If you can find this at a rental place, that would be impressive. But if you can get your hands on one, that would also work very well, because I would totally recommend it by all means. And so, that pretty much does it. I will see you guys next time. And so, this is pretty much it. And for the record, I will have more of this stuff available to watch here on the channel. I will in fact have more stuff that is in fact done outside of Wisconsin. So do be sure to expect some more Carolina-based reviews very soon. Until then though, if you want to see more go down on my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.